What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. Today I'm going to go over some information for Conan Exiles. This is a letter from the producer. So it starts off by saying, I want to take a moment to introduce myself. I'm Scott Jr., the new executive producer for Conan Exiles. Welcome to the team, Scott. We're going to move on to follower management and UI. In today's update, we introduce follower management UI. The goal of the system is to allow players to manage their thralls in an efficient manner. You can now see where they are on the map, check their stats, rescue them, if they end up in an unretrievable location, break bonds with them, and this is the first step in their efforts to improve followers in Conan Exiles. So that's all great. I'm going to cover that in another video. Follower commands. Step 2 is Followers Part 2 update. The goal of this patch is to allow players to have greater control over how their thralls behave. It's too early for exact details on how this will work, but we are planning to add thrall commands, rework some of their base AI, and add additional default behaviors. We also want to make thralls and mounts work better together, which includes allowing an active mount and follower at the same time. This update is still early in the process, so some of the above may move to a future update. So I'm going to break this into two parts. Follower commands. This is something that the community has been asking for a long time. Being able to set thralls on a passive mode or an active mode or aggressive mode. Different things that will allow us to really utilize our thralls the way that we want to. So this is a good feature. I'm very interested to see how this all evolves and plays out, and very excited to see that working in game. On the other hand, we have the mount and the follower at the same time. So it seems like they're going to take mounts out of the list of followers, and then you'll be able to have a pet or a thrall follow you while you're mounted. So that's an interesting change in my opinion. And I think it brings up some interesting questions. So if you PvP, you know that fighting someone that's mounted from a position of being on the ground is very difficult, right? You are outmatched by somebody that's mounted. Now you have to deal with someone that's mounted and a follower on top of that. I think this is really going to revolutionize the way that PvP is played. The meta of the future is definitely going to be a mount and a follower. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this. I'm not entirely sure whether I give this the big thumbs up or whether I think this is a terrible idea. I don't know. And until I see it in action, see how it's going to be used and how it changes the game, I'm kind of just going to be a mute on this whole subject, because it could be great. It could also be devastating. Moving on from that, we have the Thrall limiter. Now, it's been quite a while since we have had any official word on the Thrall limiter. They talked about it really a lot right before mounts came out. Then since mounts came out, there's been no news about it. And all of a sudden, here we are talking about the Thrall limit again. And still kind of the same basic information. We'll start the process of adding the Thrall limiter feature to official servers. We've talked about this before. But the short version is that on official servers, players' clans will have a max number of followers allowed. Exact numbers are still being evaluated, but you can expect an in-depth explanation of exactly how the limiter will work before it is released. You will receive at least 2 weeks notice so that you can properly prepare. So for that, like I said in the past, I've kind of expected it. We've had quite a bit of time without it, but it looks like it's back on the table. So that's coming. And when that comes out, I will make sure that I have a video up right away so that you can start to prepare for that limiter to be in place. They're finally doing this right. They are leaving content on the test live client for longer, and they're allowing us time to actually get these things tested. So big thumbs up to them. Please continue to leave the product on test live as long as it needs to get all the testing done and get all the feedback and the patches to a place that are ready to be in game. Last but not least, undermeshing. The team is working on several ways to combat undermeshing and other exploits that allow players to build outside the intended area. Some of these changes are risky and may have unintended side effects. So we want to make sure that our solution is to test thoroughly before it's released on all platforms. This again is a very, very good thing for Funcom to be focused on, to make sure that everybody's on the same playing field. It is absolutely not fair for some people to know how to build underneath the map and others to not, and it really shouldn't be an issue in the first place. So focusing on that, I think, is a lifelong goal. They need to always be doing that, always be looking for exploits and patching those out of the game. Now, I want to know in the comment section, what do you guys think about being able to have a thrall and a mount follow you at the same time? That's something that is really interesting to me, and I want to know what you guys think. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. I'll catch you next time. Peace. I'd like to give a big shout out to all my YouTube members. Y'all are absolute legends. Thank you to all my subscribers for your continued support, likes, comments, and general awesomeness. If you're not subscribed, you can start your free trial today and cancel at any time. Clicking the bell is highly recommended so you don't miss out on my next upload. There's a couple of videos on the screen. You can follow me over there to continue the conversation.